After weeks, months of preparation for this tournament, we are now officially into the grand finals week. And after 124 matches, we are now into match number 125. As hello everybody, welcome to the grand finals week of Violent Mania Tournament Murasaki no Taiketsu. This is the losers bracket round. The losers bracket match. I don't know why I say it run. This will determine to see who will take on Adar in the grand finals, as the final 3 players here from 3 different countries are going to show to everyone who will become the next Violent Mania Tournament champion. Hello everybody, I am Porcus Great, and joining by with me is the one, the only, the magnificent Sparky. How are you doing, Sparky?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. It has been a very long week. I have been very excited to see how this weekend will turn out, and I can't believe it. We're finally here.
Yep, it's pretty interesting. Now, warm-ups actually did start 5 minutes early, so I do not actually have a lot of time to really get through each of these players quickly before the protect bans, but I will try my best to get through it. So, coming from the loser side to even make it past the losers finals is Sunapple. Sunapple was the 8th seed from qualifiers and had been through a pretty nice run. Before the winners quarterfinals match, Sunapple has never allowed more than 2 points against the first 3 opponents until he ran into Arcat. And similarly with Arcat, through as the number 1 seed, has went through the first 3 matches with not even allowing anyone to 1 point. The only point he had allowed to is Forever 1227. As well, our warm-ups have actually finished, so with that we are gonna go into protects and bans.
Yep, and Sunapple kicking things off with a very strong 92, unable to be answered by Arcat, rolling just a 28. So, I believe we're gonna offer Sunapple the opportunity to decide how they want to go through things here.
I'm pretty sure Sunapple will have the opportunity to Sunapple will get the first pick, regardless of the protects and bans order. Oh, wait, is that allowed?
AB, AB. Yeah, it's alternating order AB, AB. That's been determined. It
means if you protect first, then you ban first.
You do both things first. It's been one of the hot topics throughout this tournament. Thankfully, it finally got ironed out. It's one of those things. It reminds me of a gimmick tournament that just concluded not too long ago, where the rules always changed. But that will be our referee is going to clarify things here for us. So it is going to be the AB.
So Sunapple is opting to go with the second protect, so this means that Arcat will get the opportunity to protect first. Interesting.
Okay, so Arcat, unsurprisingly, going to be protecting one of the SV maps, and it's going to be SV2, so Decay are more memorization-oriented picks. Some might argue it's reading, depending on how good you are at SV, because I can't play these. They're ridiculously hard, and I don't feel like practicing them. And Sunapple is going to opt to protect LM4, so unsurprisingly there, Sunapple has trended towards that bottom half of the map pool to find most of their success.
Yep, but now we are going to go into the bans. This is going to be a pretty interesting match, especially with now this is where their late game their late game is going to truly be tested on this map pool. And before I will actually get into like more of both of our players' journeys into the losers grand finals, Rice 2 is going to be banned by Arcat, and SB1 will be banned by Sunapple.
Yep, very unsurprising bans there. Arcat struggling a little bit on these late game Rice picks. I mean, that is to be expected. These Rice pools have been agonizingly hard after, some would say, I would say the finals is when it really just like picked it up a notch. And unsurprising there in Sunapple, I mean, sticking with what most players do, if SV exists in the pool, just get rid of one of them.
Also would help that Sunapple is facing an SB God and Arcat, and now to continue on with both of these players' journeys, both of these players have met in the winners quarterfinals, the match that both me and Sparky had the blessing to commentate on that match, and boy was it a super close match as both of these players were taken to their limits, and which resulted in Arcat's win by a score of, I believe, 6-4, or was it 5-3, if I remember?
I believe it was 5-3. I'm pretty sure somebody that keeps track of the stats better than we do will correct us if we are wrong, but it was almost a tiebreaker match.
Oh wait, no, it is a 6-4. It was 6-4. I'm looking at the challenge.
Very nice. So Sunapple did have the opportunity to take it to tiebreaker. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, and as we continue this journey as to how they got here, we are currently into the first map of this best of 13. First player 2-7 will be moving on to face Einar in that winners grand finals. This is Sunapple's first pick. It is going to be a hybrid map to kick things off, and one of our first customs in this pool.
Yeah, that's it's very fortunate to have these customs, and both players will find breaks, however, but it is Arcat having a much bigger drop on that part right there, so that is going to give Sunapple the lead for now.
Yeah, Sunapple having the advantage in accuracy, but that extra miss is going to put a little damper on things. Going to give Arcat a bit of a window of opportunity. That being said, the discrepancy is growing. A lot of 200 coming out from Arcat on these Rice sections. Fortunately, Arcat able to combo their way through it, just dropping quite a couple of 200s, but they're both going to trade the misses here, and that was quite a dirty miss from both of them. Both of them dropping below that 99% mark. Arcat going down into the 98th. And this is not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination. There's still half the map to go, and this is really a true test of both these players' consistency. Both of them trading misses back and forth here.
Yeah, and you know, Sunapple's accuracy was just about to be at the 99% mark, but unfortunately had dropped down to almost to 99.2. Another break from Sunapple, however, but Sunapple has been more consistent with hitting those nodes perfectly. And so we are seeing, you know, I mean, this is still pretty close, surprisingly.
Yes, I feel like that's a good thing to bring up. Arcat won their earlier match between them and Sunapple based on their consistency throughout these picks. Sunapple struggling a little bit on those mini jack transitions out of the LN structures, whereas Arcat was able to hold. That being said, the overall accuracy is what's getting Sunapple through here. And I wonder if that's going to be the trend throughout the rest of this match, where it's Arcat's consistency versus Sunapple's accuracy, and see which one prevails. But as it stands, it's not beginning to wind down. And Arcat finding a couple of misses here at the very end. The writing was on the wall, and those are going to do it. And Sunapple is going to hang on to pick up the first point in this best of 13.
Yeah, and this is almost just like the winners quarterfinals, where Arcat is definitely going to be a bit more consistent with the combo game, whereas Sunapple will have the higher accuracy. But when it comes to like the battle between this one with this map and the other and the winners quarterfinals, the margin between the accuracies was super close, to the point where Arcat narrowly won because his accuracy was just good enough to basically hold off Sunapple's a single or one or two breaks that he would have. But I mean, for this map, Hybrid 2, I mean, you know, both of these players definitely put out their best, but unfortunately for Arcat, Hybrid 2 just kind of like worked better for Sunapple to take this one.
Yep, and I mean, to be fair, to Arcat's credit, that was Sunapple's first pick, so being able to mount any sort of challenge would have been enough to contest that pick, and they're going to opt to keep themselves in that lower half of the map pool. Going to opt to go to LN3. It's going to be Decoy coming out. A bit of a shout out to Crew K for allowing us to use this map in this map pool.
Konnichiwa, Kusan. And alrighty, so both of these players are going with LN3. Decoy by you. This is a 2-minute 13-second map with an OD of 7.5 and a BPM of 180. And here we go. Both of these players are doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, this map just filled with a barrage of landmines and very staggered releases that could cause you to drop accuracy. Both of them handling the introduction fairly well. Sunapple holding on to about 0.2% of advantage, but as things begin to kick off, you'd imagine they're going to start evening out relatively quickly.
Yeah. Now this is where we get into a big part right here. One thing for sure, consistency is going to be the key, and this is one thing I will highlight about Sunapple. After his loss against Sunapple actually improved on his consistency game in the next 4 matches that he had to do, and those experiences that he had, including close battles he had against Lurk and the 4th place finisher Neon Dracone, we're starting to really see that this is a much different Sunapple after that winners quarterfinals match.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we get into this last third of the map, the gap has widened ever so slightly. 0.3% for Sunapple to work with. Both of them holding on to their full combos this late on into the map. Only a handful of 200 separating the players. Arcat finding more damage as the map progresses, just trying to hold on to these releases as best as they can. Sunapple making quick work of this map. Last 8 to go, and this is getting pretty sizable. Not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination. A choke this late would be disastrous for either of these players, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon as the map begins to wind down. Both of them holding on to the FCs, but it's going to be the ratio difference separating both of them at the end of the day here.
And yeah, just as you mentioned, both of them FC'd Ellen
3-200. Wait. You mean to tell me we're in grand finals? And Sunapple almost V1 double S.
Oh my gosh, what
a release map. That is disgusting.
990
on a grand finals LN map.
I mean, oh man, that's.
And that being said, not to discredit Arcat, that is an insane performance from them as well. Holding on for the FC above a 99%, 970,000 is a very competitive score. But when you have somebody like Sunapple on the other side pulling off a 990 in this situation, all you can do is tip your cap to them and just be like, okay, not my map to win, and just move on.
Yeah. As we get with that, we are going into LM4. I believe we're going into Sunapple's Protect right here, but my oh my, that was an incredible decoy performance from Sunapple. I know Adar is watching this right now. I think he must be really impressed, but also a bit concerned, knowing that he needs to provide a similar performance with that map if he were to face Sunapple. Assuming if Sunapple will take this match win against Arcat.
Yeah, absolutely. But that being said, it is going to be LN4. Sunapple opting to go for that protect relatively early on in the match. I mean, the strategy was probably going to be to exhaust all the LN picks before going anywhere else. And I think that is going to be the motive for both of these players. Those rice maps are incredibly physically demanding, and you don't want to exhaust all your stamina too early, especially on these longer form matches. And as we get into the second quarter of the map, we do see the accuracy is a little bit even, but as the density begins to ramp up,
Arcat will find a huge accuracy drop, was on striking distance with Sunapple. I mean, I'm seeing Arcat now back into the 99% mark, and you know, he is actually still improving with his accuracy, which is very, very impressive. But Sunapple is also slightly improving, just holding on to that 99.35, but no! Arcat will find a break that is going to extend the lead for Sunapple.
Yeah, it looks like it was a bit of a slider drop. A second one coming out there, going into the last third of the map, is going to make matters just a little bit worse here. That being said, 99.6, and that transition catching Arcat off guard once again. Struggling just a little bit here in the back half of the map. It is to be expected. I mean, the density is rather high throughout this map, so misreading some of these patterns is to be expected. But that being said, Sunapple making quick work of these LM picks once again. 99.3 going into the last sliver of map, and this was a very good protect from them to try and take advantage and go up 3-0 now.
Yeah, that is an incredible performance from Sunapple. 975k. Oh my. The ratio is still pretty impressive too, but there is definitely room for improvement, you know, when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sunapple saying it in the RSC chat, that was their first FC on that map. To put it in perspective, this map was used in Soft 6.
Wow.
This is not an easy map by any stretch of the imagination. The exact rate that was used in Soft 6 escapes me at the moment, but I know that this map in particular was in there. So this is quite the performance that Sunapple is putting up to kick off this grand finals weekend. I mean, credit to Arcat doing everything in their power to try and stay toe-to-toe with the performances that Sunapple has been putting up is no small feat. Definitely a great performance in and of itself, but it's just, I mean, Sunapple's just on another level right now. And Arcat going to opt to break out of that lower half of the map. We're going to test out the waters with the rice pool. It is going to be Opia coming out here.
Yep. Opia. 2 minutes 44 seconds long, BPM of 193, and an OD of 7. So very odd to see a rice map going with an OD of under 8 here. But I mean, this is after all the grand finals map pool, so probably the map for this one is gonna look a lot more complex for players to pull off perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. This one does get a little dense at times. The only reprieve you have is that slightly larger hit window, but that is not something to rest your laurels on. And that being said, this gentle introduction, not the place you want to start dropping 200s. Arcat finding one very early on, gonna give Sunapple a bit of an early lead, but that being said, as the map begins to progress, you'd imagine that the accuracies are going to even out.
Yep. So here we go with this one. I'm talking about like with these complex patterns we are seeing right here as Arcat will find the first break.
Yeah, first couple of breaks going the way of Arcat, gonna help balloon the lead for Sunapple here. And you would imagine that this was more just trying to break that momentum from Sunapple, but Sunapple currently holding on to the FC right now. 99.78 does finally find the break.
Sunapple will find that break, giving an opportunity for Arcat to possibly catch up and maybe steal it away maybe towards the end of the map, but we shall see how it will go as we are now officially into the halfway mark. Just around less than 90 seconds of the map to go, however. Arcat's accuracy is improving, not too far behind from Sunapple.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still an outside shot that Arcat can take this if Sunapple finds another couple of inopportune breaks, but Arcat is going to be the one to find a break here. Gonna drop, or stay rather, in that 98% range. Sunapple does finally trade the miss back, but in these exchanges, those only help Sunapple here as Arcat finds another couple of rushes of 200s, trying to hang on as best they can to the combo. I feel like that's going to be the name of the game here for Arcat, but that being said, these bursts come out.
Goodness.
They're just trading back and forth. Nobody wants to hold on to combo right now, and that can be forgiven. This map does get rather dense. It's incredibly hard to read through some of these patterns.
Yeah, those bursts are really what's getting Arcat and Sunapple to not even getting a combo of over 100 right now, but the map is about to be over, and as it seems, I mean, even with that big lead right here, I don't think even if Sunapple just straight up stopped playing, I don't think it would actually be enough for Arcat to catch up. But as it is going to be Sunapple taking the second break point of this grand finals match. It is going to be 4-0 in favor of Sunapple.
Yep, a valiant effort, a good try from Arcat to try and break some of this momentum from Sunapple, but I mean, those rice maps are hard. I do not, I don't blame him for trying in that instance, but Sunapple is going to stick to the task at hand for them. The LNs have been working out in their favor, and this one's going to be no different. It's going to be LN1, Indomitable Spirit.
Indomitable Spirit, pretty, not an average length map, but it's somewhat a bit longer than usual. It's 2 minutes 58 seconds long, with an OD of 8 and BPM of 178.5. Sunapple looking to make it 5-0 in this match. Arcat is still trying to look for his first point in this grand finals match. And so now, as we get this map underway here, both players having decent starts right now. I mean, Sunapple starting off with a good accuracy lead with 99.87 right now, but already immediately at the start, already starts to pick up with these LN patterns here.
Yeah, a lot of really short, dense LN reading patterns to kick this map off. Both players holding on to the 99% right now. It's about 5-10 the lead for Sunapple as things begin to kick off into the second quarter. Arcat going to be finding themselves dropping a lot of 200s here, hanging on to the releases just a little bit too long, but Sunapple's going to find the first break here.
Sunapple will find the first break here. This is interesting. So now this is definitely where Arcat can definitely steal that point from Sunapple. It's that consistency. Unfortunately, Arcat will trade back with Sunapple as Sunapple just manages to get back into the 400 combo mark. Arcat's about to get back into the 400 combo mark, however, but with that break and the accuracy difference, Sunapple is having over 1% of a lead over Arcat. Now, even though this is a pretty low accuracy right now, Arcat can easily can easily build that accuracy back up, but you know, it's that lead right now Sunapple has right now. It's just, man, that's just incredible to see how amazing Sunapple has been performing right now.
Yep, and as we get into this last third of the map, it is a bit of a mountain to climb for Arcat. Not quite insurmountable just yet, but quickly approaching that. The consistency from Sunapple on these LNs has been 1, 2, fear so far as this match has progressed. Last quarter of the map to go. Both players seeming to find their footing once again as the density begins to ramp up. And as I say that, Arcat does find a drop in the transition. A bit of a slider break there.
Yep, Sunapple holding on to a 99.40% here. And just as I say that, Sunapple will find multiple breaks right here, but Arcat will trade back a break. But we are literally near less than 1/8 of the map, and as we're just seeing here, it just doesn't look to be enough for Arcat to really catch up, even if Sunapple would stop playing. But my goodness, Sunapple with a 963k in this ridiculous long note map here.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Sunapple with the accuracy, but Arcat, I mean, those are all slider breaks. They only have 2 organic misses.
Oh
Like, that's an insane run. If you really look at it under a microscope, like, those are literally just slider breaks. They just held on to some of those short LNs a little bit too long, and that was just the undoing. If they were able to hold combo and only miss those 2 times, we might have had a much closer scoreline.
Yep, but now we are going into Decay now. The only SV map we're going to see here, map made by Pataraj, Arcat's Protect here, so, I mean, back in the winners quarterfinals, Arcat did choose SV map. But Sunapple actually did try his best to really make it a match not easy for Arcat to earn his well-protected SV point back then. But, you know, especially with, like, how the maps have progressed since then, I mean, Arcat has been topping the charts for the SV maps. Sunapple, in, I believe, SP2, according to the statistics sheet, Sunapple was actually ranked last, but to be fair, this was his only attempt, as Yondercone had like a worse time attempting SP2 the first time, but then he actually got better at it, or I could be 100% wrong.
No, I think that's correct.
Yeah, it's just that sometimes I have so much information in my mind that I would seem to forget I would seem to really forget other things, and I would have to remind myself, wait, is this actually true, or am I just bullshitting myself, you know?
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. But with that being said, we are into this 7th map of this best of 13. It's felt like it's flown by so far, and Arcat, what in the ever-loving hell are you doing?
Oh my
this
God.
is disgusting.
What is this?
I know Arcat is a really, really good SV player, but this is otherworldly. Sunapple has the luxury of seeing everything that's happening, all the nodes and their receptors, and they're barely hanging on to an S. Meanwhile, we have a literal cat stomping on their keyboard. They turned the flashlight on, they lowered the scroll speed, and they have a 99.57%. Somebody stop this man.
What is this? This is you know, I remember some people saying, oh, there are some players in this tournament that could compete with Arcat. I'm like, really? All you really need to do now is show them this match, and then you can tell me, oh, you think these players can beat Arcat at his own game? You can literally put Arcat on you can literally blindfold Arcat.
I'm done. They're still holding on to the full combo. They still full comboing. All the teleports, nothing is phasing him right now. He is locked in the zone, and just look at the UR bar. The UR bar is literally nearly perfect dead center. Sunapple has a B. He's quadding his way through it. Arcat is holding on to a full combo. Drop down into the 98% range. But that can be forgiven. The man has flashlight on, for God's sake.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, okay. If you were to show this to, like, anyone from, like, Standard or Taiko or Catch, the first thing they will probably mention is, oh, this player must be throwing. Nope, you are 100%
Genuine
wrong.
performance. Like, Sunapple is putting in, like, maximum effort right now, I would imagine, to at least put on, like, a bit of a show right now. They admitted they had a B as their PB. Like, they're... Arcat finally broke! Arcat is human. He's not a cat. The cat is gone. Arcat is back in the building, and they found the miss. Still at a 98%, mind you. This is so Pork. The rule is that if you win SV with flashlight on, you just win the match, right?
I mean,
we can just call it here, right? You can't top this. This is the best performance we have seen. What?
I mean, okay, as much as we would love to give Arcat like 7 points, unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to anyways. This is only worth 1 point. So unfortunately, it's just mean that Arcat will avoid the sweep as he is now up on the board with the score of, I believe it should be 5-1.
I think it's 6-1 right now. It is match point for Sunapple, or 5-1 rather. I did misread the scoreboard.
5-1. Yeah, it should be 5-1 because this was Arcat's pick, so normally the score would be even, not odd. So
correct. So we will get that corrected for you. It is not match point yet. Thankfully, I didn't go into a tirade about match point situations and stuff like that. But that being said, Sunapple's pick gonna exhaust the rest of the LN pool. It is LN 2 coming out. It is gonna be Black Swan.
Yep, Black Swan is the pick here. Mapper made by Reveal. This is 2 minutes, 8 seconds long.
Oh,
OD.
is Arcat connected?
Panic.
Yeah, we'll get the panic in there.
Oh wait. Wait, something's wrong with Arcat.
Okay, yeah, get the abort in there. It's been inside 30 seconds, so something didn't load. Oh, it might have been the scroll speed. Did they change their scroll speed back?
No, something's wrong. So
or
I
did
am
the client
watching
not load?
I am watching Arcat's stream. Something was actually wrong. Like, I believe it's like when he, like when you play, it's like it's supposed to be like, what do you call it? There's supposed to be like the note circles placed at the bottom. Arcat's had like the wrong skin set up, so he wasn't absolutely played. So he was asking for a board. He wasn't ready.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It was inside 30 seconds. That's super allowable. That being said, mulligan over. Let's see if we can get into this 7th map of this best of 13, the true 7th map.
Yep, and Arcat's skin is unfortunately good to go. So regardless, this map is going to proceed now. And as we see here, it's Arcat actually having a much better start than Sunapple so far. Arcat looking to probably continue the momentum, but as I just say that, Arcat will be the first player to break in this map right now in competition. So this is going to give Sunapple the lead, and oh my goodness, that drop, however, not also very impressive, as Arcat almost behind by a whole 1%.
Pork, I don't know about you, but that Filipino connection is real. That curse was signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yep.
That being
as we see here, this Sunapple still holding on to that FC with a 99.58% right here. And we are now officially halfway into the map with just under 1 minute to go right here. Arcad is actually improving now, but as I just say that, Arcad...
You are just on fire with these, man. Last quarter of the map to go.
To be fair, it's not... I don't know what's wrong with my words. It's like they just echo into like these players' minds all of a sudden, and then they'll just start breaking. Like you can also watch the finals, the losers finals matches, just to see how many times I basically cursed a player in one map. It's getting ridiculous at this rate.
Absolutely. That being said, Sunapple does finally find the break here very late on into the map, but the damage has been done. A 1 slider break, 99.5% performance to strike fear into the hearts of the remaining player, and Sunapple makes it match point.
When you see it, oh my goodness, when you see it, oh! Arcat with a when you see it moment right here. But my goodness, don't let that distract you from the fact that Sunapple scored a 979k. That's incredible.
That is. No, Sunapple has just been destroying these LN maps so far. A 1 slider break near FC, only 14,200s. I mean, again, I think I've been saying it so far this entire match, not to discredit the performance from Arcad though, still trying to stay within striking distance to capitalize on any mistakes, but Sunapple has not offered any windows of opportunity into this match. But that being said, the LM pool is gone.
Yep. And with that being said, however, this is Arcad's turn now, but you know, there's not a lot to choose from besides the hybrids, which Arcad hasn't touched yet. The only map he did touch was Rice 5, but as we see here, Rice 3 is going to be chosen.
So it is going to be Blinded by Fear coming out here. Very nice map made by Hannah. I think the only edits here are the rates added on, and the OD maybe could stand to be corrected there. So with that being said, the players are ready. They are loaded into this 8th map of this best of 13. Sunapple on match point. Arcat trying to take a 2nd point in this match and try to mount some kind of comeback here, but the mountain is very tall. And if they're going to need to go through a gauntlet of some very physical Rice maps if they want to try and force a tiebreaker here.
Yeah, and definitely a much different match from what we see from the winners quarterfinals versus to the losers grand finals right here. Sunapple has both of these players has just been incredible. It's just unfortunate that when Sunapple lost in the winners quarterfinals, he just literally became a brick wall as he manhandled through 2 opponents in the losers semis and losers finals, but while also surviving against 2 very formidable foes, like I mentioned, in Lurk and the Undercone. And it just looks like that Sunapple momentum that Sunapple has been having since the loser semifinals has already been carried over to this match right here. And don't get me wrong, Arcat has definitely been incredible as well. There is a reason why Arcat is in the losers grand finals. I mean, as well as being in the winners finals as well. Arcat has been very incredible. Arcat has also set some pretty great scores as well, including with that SV2 map. We are already halfway into the map, and Arcat with the multiple breaks. However, this is going to definitely extend the lead for Sunapple. But we are now officially less than about a quarter of the map left to go. Sunapple will find a break just after that jump drill section right here.
Yep, only a couple more sections left to go, and it feels like the writing is on the wall here. Last eighth of the map to go. Sunapple just find another break here, but that lead, a little untouchable. But that being said, Arcad is about that 400 combo cap. Gonna make a bit of a dent here. A couple hundreds coming out on that last burst. That being said, there's only a sliver of map left to go. Arcad does find a break, and that is going to be the nail in the coffin here. Another couple of breaks coming out. The physicality just a hair too much for them at the end of the day, and Sunapple is going to punch their ticket into the grand finals and go up against Einar for a chance to win the Violet Mania tournament.
Yep, and you know, a valiant effort for both of these players. But Sunapple's run after losing in the winners quarterfinals definitely got his revenge from Arcad. And you know, that is a much deserved victory for Sunapple. Arcad definitely gave everything he's got in this map pool. And you know, it's very unfortunate to see, you know, how this match have went. But you know, both of these players, and I would even say it for Arcad, he could definitely be very proud with how he did in this tournament. Third place out of so many applicants, like at least over 64 players for sure. That is something that he can be very happy, and you know, definitely be happy that, you know, he definitely gave one of the best runs, and definitely gave him some best matches this tournament has seen so far.
Absolutely, and it to your point, credit to Arcat playing through some actual physical pain. I believe he has stated in the past that he does have RSI that acts up every now and again, and as the pools got more physical, I mean, definitely does take a bit of a toll. So hopefully they're able to rest and recover, and just basically take care of themselves for any of their future tournaments. It has been an incredible run from them, and again, congratulations to Sunapple. That match between them and Einar, I believe, has been officially scheduled. It will be, let me double check before I get that incorrect.
It's going to be at 15 UTC on Sunday, and yeah, and I don't know, but the winners bracket reset, we still do not know yet when that is going to happen, if it's going to be after the match or if it's going to be possibly at a later date, but one thing for sure, we are going to get into the winners grand finals. And before I want to say congratulations to Arcad, let me just say this to get everything out of the way. To play as someone who has a permanently screwed up right wrist, playing with, especially with these maps, is already difficult enough. When you're playing with like the physicality of like these rice maps, not only is your wrist will definitely, it's not going to hurt, at least from my experience, but as soon as you keep playing with how much you're pushing throughout these physical rice maps, trust me, it gets really, really difficult, and it's especially going to get a lot more difficult to especially ignore the pain that you're having. And you know, especially as I mentioned in the past, like with, you know, both of these players, I'm pretty sure like throughout this whole tournament I mentioned about like how these players are just managing to just go from map by map with little to no rest. I mean, it is just a very impressive for both of these, for pretty much Arcad and pretty much anyone who has like wrist injuries, to really be just pushing through. My respect for Arcad today has increased greatly with like his experience with repetitive strain injuries and those with carpal tunnels. And you know, Arcad, now I will mention this, I just want to say congratulations on your third place finish. And don't ever let anyone else tell you that you don't deserve to be here. There is a reason why you are here. You definitely had the best form out of anyone in the early game and mid game. And if they don't like it, too bad. They can just go deal with it, keep crying, and they'll just keep living in your head. They'll think of you in their heads rent free, alright? You deserve this third place, and you deserve the profile banner as well.
So with that being said, Pork, I feel like you've said everything that needs to be said. We'll catch you guys for the next stream. We will post the ping when it does officially go live. We hope to see you there. You do not want to miss it. See you later.
See ya.